Google is getting sued by multiple American states for deceptive tactics relating to disclosure of location data and how it is collected. Now, states which have sued Google include Washington, D.C. and Indiana, and the lawsuit is based on a 2018 report articulating how Google collected user data even when the user turned off the option from their device settings. Now, after this report, Google was forced to update its user policy. So what's this new lawsuit about? Has Google been sued before? And what's the big deal about collection of data? Here's what you need to know. Number one, what's this lawsuit about? A group of attorney generals from multiple states, including Indiana, Texas, and Washington, D.C., announced that they were suing Google over deceptive practices relating to data collection. Now, Google's policy most likely goes against state laws designed to protect all consumers. In simpler terms, Google continued to collect user location data even when the user turned off location tracking on their phone or on their device. In addition to this, the lawsuit also calls Google out on its user privacy settings, calling them confusing and conflicting. 2. Has Google been sued before? The answer to that is yes. This isn't the first time Google has been accused and sued. A similar case was filed against Google by the state of Arizona in 2020, which focused on location tracking as well as argued that Google made it impossible for users to keep their location private. Now, 3, what has Google said about this? A spokesperson from Google has said that this most recent lawsuit is, and I quote, based on inaccurate claims and outdated assertions about our settings. Google also said that it has, and I quote, always built privacy features into our products and provided robust controls for location data. 4, how does Google collect location data? Even though Google gives you the option to turn off collection of location data on a device, some location data is still collected. On most Android phones like mine, if you sign into your Google account, that is, if you check your Gmail or use Google Maps, location data is collected from the device, and it's hard to prevent this from happening because, well, Google Maps doesn't work without accessing your location. Now, you can go ahead and adjust your privacy settings, but what is interesting to note is what Google posts about these settings in the end, which many of us just tend to not read. Google says, and I quote, some location data may continue to be saved in other settings like web and app activity as a part of use or other services like search and maps, even after you turn off your location history. Wait, what? What this essentially means is that Google will still collect some location data even if you turn off your location history, which is what the lawsuit argues is confusing for users and a deceptive tactic. 5, what's the big deal about collecting location data? Well, according to this lawsuit, location data is most sensitive because Google knows where we are as long as we have our devices on us. This essentially lets Google know our identity and our routines, and it's not just our location. The lawsuit says this includes information on, and I quote, political or religious affiliation, sexual orientation, income, health status, or participation in support groups, as well as major life events such as marriage, divorce, and birth of children. The lawsuit also elaborates that this data which Google collects is powerful because the company can monitor consumers' daily life. The data can also be used to derive insights about consumers for targeted advertising. In addition to this, the lawsuit also maintains that Google has financial motives with the billions of dollars it pumps into advertising, and this is precisely why Google wants to make it more difficult for users to opt out of location tracking. The point of the lawsuit is, and I quote, to correct the deceptive and unfair practices that Google has used and uses to obtain consumers' location data and to ensure that consumers are able to understand and control the extent to which their location data is accessed, stored, used, and monetized by the company. 6, what can you do about it? We're going to show you a demo here. For any of you wanting to turn off your location history, here's how you do it. Now, I have an Android phone, so let's have a look. First, go to the Settings app and tap on Google. If you have an iOS device, go to the Google app and tap on your profile pic. Second, on Android, select the Manage Your Google Account option. Do this on your iOS device as well. Third, hit the Data and Privacy option, then hit the Location History option and switch it off. You can still see Google's disclaimer right here. Even though I have switched off my data, it is saying this means that even if my location history is off, Google is still collecting my data. For all the people who wish to protect their privacy, this lawsuit is legitimate. The outcome is still awaited. Like and share this video. Also, be sure to leave your comment below. Keep watching News 9. Until next time, this is Priyanka Deo signing off. Namaste.